Hello everyone, welcome to the channel, welcome back to the channel. As I noted, I am back with a part 2 because the last video just cut abruptly and I'm a little bit more comfortable, still braless, but more comfortable. It took some time to do a little bit of research. It's still not done. I didn't look up the Fisher Price stuff now that I'm looking at these notes or anything about Play-Doh, but I do have some things here that I want to share. So let's get into it. And of course, you would have to watch the most recent video to get some background information because I'm truly just going to focus on the notes that I have here, and hopefully I don't have to make too much cross-reference. Okay, cross-reference is giving me cross-examination, so legalese. Pardon me. So it's giving me courtroom talk. It's giving me the judicial system, the Justice Department, or any other name that it may go by. We're talking about agents of the courts here, lawyers, judges, police officers, even law clerks and paralegals. It might even extend into a bigger network to include doctors, pharmacists, medical examiners, and coroners. And I'm sure it spreads. I believe we're dealing with a network here. Of course, I don't want to jump the gun and say for sure, because there's lots more work to do. And it's a case-by-case investigation, of course. And I'm just here to give insight, bits and pieces, clues, hints that I receive. But of course, I'm not giving you the full story. I'm saving that for a later time. I'm giving enough. So those who these messages could potentially be for, who it may resonate with, could get a clue. As simple as that. So let me put my glasses on. Hopefully my nipples don't show in the camera because they don't match. You know, I breastfed my children. I'm not ashamed. Not ashamed. But I also know that it could be inappropriate for some. Appropriate for some. Inappropriate for some. So let me just respect myself, and hopefully they're not on camera. I mean, it's a good thing they are a little drooped, because perhaps they would be on camera. So maybe breastfeeding was a benefit, because if they were like up here, you would see. But they're not. You know, they're down there. Not all the way down. They're not at my belly button, but they are not where they used to be, for sure. They used to be standing at attention. We could be dealing with somebody in the military here. Definitely somebody in uniform. That did come up in the last video. But on a side note, there's a shift. Anyhow, on a side note, as you can see, I put on lipstick in the last video. My lips are bare and dry looking. But I put on lipstick, and I'm making a note of this because this is part of a collection that I purchased for myself a few Christmas ago. So it was worth the buck. At the time, I thought it was pricey, even though it was a Christmas special. But clearly, it was worth the investment. And the person behind it is also worth the investment. Every investment that's made in this person. One of my faves. Top 3 for sure. Is she top 1? Brittany, Riri. It's probably a close tie. Okay, Brittany. Okay, Riri. I'm not sure, but definitely top 3. It's Fenty Beauty. And I'm really making a note of this is because yesterday and today I wore 3 different colors. It was a collection of maybe 8 yeah, 8 little tubes of lipstick. And I like them all. Maybe one of them is a little bit too bright, the orange. Orange came up in the last reading. Something about orange. I threw the orange marker. I threw this and it missed. So let me just put it in the bin now. So orange is coming up again. And way back, I brought something up about an orange mark. So orange marker, or orange marked her. Who's the her? Who's the orange? Who's the mark? What could that mean? But I just put that in the bin, clearly where it belongs, because it could never, ever, ever possibly be Brittany or Riri. I'm gonna have to make a note of orange again. Now I need a new orange marker. Let me see, I must have orange somewhere else here. Oh, the orange lighter. Oh, it works. I didn't know it was in here. You know, my high grade went missing, so. What else do I have in here? Interesting. A shaker. Something needs to be shaken up. Didn't I say a shift? So a shift and a shake. Okay, what else do I have in here? I feel like this is show and tell. My little pencil case here. I packed this for Niagara Falls. And I haven't really unpacked it since, but it's been open at the side of the desk here. Alright, so I have my cards. I haven't made reference to these cards in a while. Okay. My destiny card here. My final destination card, I call it. 500 miles, 500 miles, 500 miles, 500 miles. I'm gonna leave that out there. Some lip gloss, but this one looks like it's like pretty much done. I'm gonna trash that too. Lip gloss, little mama. She doesn't deserve to be in the trash if she was trashed. So that is no inference or reference. This one still has a little bit. I'm gonna keep this. I like when my lip gloss be popping. I like when my lips, you know, stand out sometimes. Some other lip color here. Clearly looks like there's more lip stuff than actual markers and pens and pencils. There isn't. I'm exaggerating. But another lip thing. No, this one looks like it's done too. Maybe one more use. That sounds interesting. Who's this by? Not that it matters. Oh, Revolution. I'm gonna keep this for one more use just because I like the word revolution. I'm a part of the revolution. Okay. Anti-revolution. You know Rihanna has an album called Anti? You know, the red is standing out again because I believe I made a video wearing a little bit of red saying I was the anti-revolution. Meaning anybody who tries to go up against Rihanna, I must go up against. You know what I mean? She's part of the list of those who need protection, those who must be protected. Okay, vulnerable individuals, possible targets. A possible target, but targets because she's now with children. All right. I don't know if there's any relation between Rihanna and something orange or someone orange. But get your lighters up if there is. Okay. Get your lighters up if there is. Lil' Kim, get your lighters up. Get your lighters up. Something about the Navy came up in the last video. I gotta remember that I'm on camera and not just speaking to myself. Rihanna's fan base is the Navy. I never expected that Rihanna would be so heavy on the radar, but she is. I don't mind. Her fan base is the Navy. I'm looking at the old notes here, not even getting to the new yet. Hopefully I have enough time. I asked my son to make some room for me. Her fan base is the Navy. I'm wearing Fenty. Like I said, 3 different colors in 2 days. And I love all 3. This one's a little bit bold, but Rihanna is bold, okay? So, she's on the radar for sure. There's a mark on her. But I'm looking here, mark missed. Mark her, but then missed. I'll show you here. I need to have my pointer pen. Nose itching. This is no joke. This is no joke. G for L. You see mark her, but then missing or missed. So I'm gonna get back to this because I'm gonna look into the Fisher Price stuff, the Play-Doh stuff, plastic containers, children toys a little bit more. And with the Navy, I have Buccaneer next to it, and I made a video talking about Buccaneers when I got some rum cake from Metro, a grocery store, and it was so yummy. I went back and got more than one time since then. But when I looked into Buccaneer, it has something to do with pirates. And we know pirates, what pirates do. They just show up and they want to rob your boat. They want to, you know, hit up your spot. But there are 2 types of pirates. There's pirates, the regular pirates that I just described. And then there are pirates who are privateers, meaning they're doing the same thing, but they're more sophisticated in their doings, and they usually get the job done because they have additional support. And that support usually comes from the government or somebody higher in power, somebody who has the power to provide such assistance for somebody to invade someone's home or ship without them knowing, without a warrant either. Just to plunder. I'm gonna come back to that. I'm not liking the way that's making me feel. I see the word steam whistle, and of course that's related to train. I am going to talk some stuff about train, but steam whistle is also giving me the name of a beer. I don't know why it didn't come to mind just before, but it's coming to mind now. So something about beer. Somebody may like the beer steam whistle. I'm gonna have to look that up too. Let me put a little. I thought I was really done going over what I needed to go over, except for the children's stuff, because I didn't want to go into children's stuff and get disturbed. But I'm getting disturbed, so I might as well just do some more research after this. But yeah, I have some markers here. What did I come in here for? An orange marker. Okay, looks like I have the orange highlighter here. Orange mark is also giving me so somebody could be Hindu. Somebody's name could be Omar. And Omar did come up. It's going to come up again. Not saying it has anything to do with anything I just mentioned, but I'm just going to share everything that came up on the radar that I'm led to share. Okay, I got orange. Let's put all the other stuff away. 5. $22 and then 25. So 4 and then 8, so then 12 and then 3. Okay, let's get into the notes. I hope you like lipstick, by the way. I forgot what this one is called because it's so tiny to read. I'm going to have to take a picture of it, zoom in. But it was a nice collection, worth the money. So somebody might be feeling the same about her products or her as a person. Something is worth the money, worth the investment. Where should I start? Let's start with Thomas and Friends. Because the blue from the last reading stood out. Something about missing link on a train or a chain. Going back to Sam Cook. Somebody's name could be Sam. Somebody could be cooking something up. Okay, or could have that surname. Okay. But with the Play-Doh, it's giving me cooking something up. Dough, baking, or dough, money. So money exchange. Somebody named Sam may have given somebody money, received money. Perhaps to be a buccaneer. Okay. The chain is also giving me Cuban link. Because I did share something about I have Cuban roots. But no Cuban links. Okay. So there might be a Cuban involved in something here. Or something about Cuba. So Thomas and Friends. Thomas is the tank engine, #1. He's a really useful engine, or at least that's what he sets out to do. He doesn't mean any harm, but he usually gets himself in some trouble. And then he has his best friend, Percy. Percy is always willing to help Thomas get out of trouble. I know, I'm not going to say a lot, but I know some stuff about Thomas because my son was a fan of Thomas. But he disappointed me earlier today when I was doing some research. I asked him to name just a couple of Thomas's friends, and he was stumped. And I looked at high places, which, you know, I don't call them high places when I'm talking to my son about his father. But Maggie, look how much money you spent on all these toys, and he can't even tell you 3 of Thomas's friends. The only one he remembered was James, the red one. So red is standing out again. Somebody's name could be James, and the name James did come up a few times in the drink that I was led to purchase one time, the Jameson lemonade, hard lemonade or something like that. Somebody's name could be Mike from Mike's Hard Lemonade. Somebody could like Mike's Hard Lemonade. Okay. Somebody could have taken a urine sample, or was made to take a urine sample, and it either came back positive for drug detection or a disease. Okay, something about urine. That just came to me, I guess because I pictured lemonade and was yellow. Mike's lemonade. I'm like, what kind of lemonade could Mike have other than the drink? And urine came to mind. And of course, that is sour. That's a sour thought. So there's the lemonade again. So somebody may have had affairs with somebody named Mike, somebody named Percy, somebody named Thomas, or any one of Thomas's friends. Okay, we have Gordon, James, like I said, Edward. We have Toby, he's the tram. And then we have Henry. And I kind of stopped there because I didn't want to have more than one page, but I did end up having more than one page anyway. So Thomas and Friends. So that would be 7 altogether because I gave up to 6, but when you include Thomas, that's 7. So it could be 7 people involved in something. Maybe some kind of buccaneering, robbing, breaking, and entering into someone's home. Okay, the 7 is also standing out. I read this a while back. It was about a group out of Atlanta. Was it 7? I'm gonna have to look that up. But it's coming to me because I think Rihanna has something to do with that. I might get the numbers off, but I believe I read a while back something about Ocean 7. And it was a group I think Jermaine Dupri put together. I think Rihanna was featured in one of the Oceans. Ocean's 11? I'm going to have to look this down. Ocean's 8? Ocean's 13? I'm going to have to put which one Rihanna was in. if she was in any, but that's what's coming to mind. That's what's being channeled as if she was. Okay, so I don't know if anyone from the Ocean 7 has eyes on Rihanna, is fixated on Rihanna, is targeted in Rihanna, or all 7 of them, or who these Thomas and Friends will translate to. I do have some names, but again, I don't want to point any fingers, but I'm just sharing what's here, and if there are any connections to be made, I guess they will be made. Okay, I said that Omar Epps came out. Omar Epps came out because I did not know that he was related to 2 Chainz, which is who is Tahid Epps. I didn't know that. Okay, then Darrell Babs came out because I thought about Halle Berry, strangely, because I was thinking about X-Men. And then I thought about her movie Babs. And then when I started thinking about Thomas and Friends, I'm like, Tank Engine. And I'm like, Tank. So I looked up Tank, and his name was Darrell Babs. And then his name has 2 R's, 2 L's, and then 3 B's in his last name, but 2 together. So it's like double, 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 and then tie that in with the Epps, 2 P's over here, 2 E's in Tahid, then jump over to Omar, 2 P's in Epps again. So P P P P P P P P P P P P urine, P P P P, all these P's, and then Omar with the Hindu. I'm not saying he's Hindu. I don't know what he's into. It's been a while. What show was he last on? I last seen him on Raising Canaan. So here's another power connection. Well, power as in 50 Cent, because he's behind Power Universe. And a lot of his actors, characters, come up in the energy a lot. I don't know, 50 Cent is not paying his peoples, right? Where they have to be considering doing overtime work, side activities, under the table stuff. But this is getting interesting. This is getting interesting. Because here's Omar Epps, and he's Raising Canaan. And Canaan is the representative of a young 50 Cent. I don't know that young man's name in real life. Other names that came up was Sean Garrett. How did his name come up? Well, Sean, linked to Diddy, his name is Sean. And then Sean linked to Jay-Z, his name is Sean. And he's a producer or a singer out of Atlanta, where the Ocean 7 crew is also based. But then Clifford Smith Jr. comes up. I don't think he's from Atlanta. I think he's from New York. Clifford Smith is Method Man. Again, linked to 50 Cent Power Universe. He's on both Power and Ghost. Okay, he's Davis, the lawyer, the criminal lawyer, defense lawyer. Okay, nose itching. He has 2 F's in his name. Smith stands out, not just from my professor, but there was another, Sam Smith. Okay, the singer. Love some of his songs. That's 2 burps, 2 confirmations. I don't see how well, I'm not gonna say I don't see. Anything's possible. Okay, Sam Smith could fit in some thing here. I know that he is gay, Sam Smith. So maybe he could fit in somewhere here with somebody who could be. I know Tank came up and questioned his sexuality. I don't know if he's into white men. That's his prerogative, Tank. I mean, if your wife says so. But Davis makes me think about Sir Davis, which is, it's like a new pen. Okay, here we go. Look, a new white pen. I like it. What does it say? I cannot see this. Anyhow, new white pen came in today. So something new, something white, something what today, as in Thursday. Okay. Uh, so Sir Davis. So Sir is the name. Sir Davis is the name of Beyonce's liquor. So Beyonce all on his mouth like liquor. Maybe they drank some of Sir Davis and didn't like it. Okay. Sir Davis is also making me think about Sir David. And that is the football player, retired football player out of the UK. The husband of Victoria Beckham. All right. And now I'm thinking about it. Yes, Beyonce provided an explanation that it's inspired by her grandfather or great grandfather, the name of this liquor. But it's so close to Sir David. It makes it a little awkward more than interesting. A little too close to home. I mean, it could just have happened to just be like that, like whatever, but it just looks a little strange right here, writing it down. Sir David, Sir Davis. Anyhow, I'm bringing up Sir David not because he's the husband of Becky with the good hair. I'm bringing him up because the UK part. UK goes back to Thomas and Friends because it's a British children's book, a collection. Okay. The writer is Wilbert Audrey. Wilbert is actually a name of an uncle. So somebody could be somebody's uncle here. Or an uncle. I know Uncle Luke came up before. Because then Luke came up a lot on some cards I pulled. Okay. But Wilbert is the name of my uncle. But now that I'm looking at it, I want to take Bert out, and it's giving me Bert and Ernie, Sesame Street. So again, children programming, Thomas and Friends, children books. Bert and Ernie, they also said, even though Sesame Street explained that there has nothing to do, which I'm glad they gave that explanation. I don't know why my nose is going off. They gave an explanation that, of course, there's nothing sexual about the programming or their relationship. They're not alluding to anything of the sort, which was the conscious and kosher thing to say. Even though people still have their suspicions that Bert and Ernie may be lovers. Okay? So, I'm not saying, this has anything to do with my uncle. It does. That's his prerogative. If he has an Ernie. The will, though, somebody's name could be Will. Or somebody could have a strong will to do something. Okay? Because going back to Percy, he always wants to help Thomas, his best friend. And then another one of the engines, engine number 2, is Edward. So somebody's name could be Eddie. And right away I think about Family Matters. So something could be about Family Matters, the show, characters on that show. Or this is about Family Matters, meaning family affair. Family affair makes me think about Mary J. Blige. Not saying she has anything to do. I'm just shouting things out, putting things out, making connections here. But going back to Family affair, Thomas and Friends, you could say your friends are family. Friends are like family, especially if you're really loyal and close and been so for a long time, even a short time. A good friend is a good friend. And if your friend has your back, your friend has your back. Okay? So Percy has Thomas's back. Edward, he is very, very, very reliable. Very helpful, kind. You can look this up on Google to get their characteristics, okay? But he likes to prove to bigger engines that he could get the job done. All right? This is somebody you definitely want on your team. So him being engine number 2 makes sense because he's not afraid to show his strength. He's the one you look to restore order after a chaos. After Thomas gets himself in trouble and Percy tries to, cover it up, help him out. Of course, Percy, he's a little engine. He's a junior engine. But he has a lot of confidence and bravado, a lot of willpower. Well, willpower, but not a lot of, what do you call it? The oomph? I don't know. So Edward steps in and saves the day. All right. Something's going on with the lips, the mouth, parts in the mouth. This could be like a fraternity, Thomas and Friends, or the Ocean 7, or Buccaneers. This could be like a gang, a crew. But I have some other notes here. Where are we? 30 minutes? What? Okay. Thomas and Friends. So fellow locomotives. Okay. Loco could mean crazy, but it could mean movement for the most part. This is what it means in this sense. But, you know, you local. Somebody could be Hispanic, who's a part of this team, or a part of the Ocean's 7. Again, I have to look it up. I only know that Jermaine Dupri is in it. I think he is the starter, the founder. And I think Trey Songz is in it. He's not Hispanic, is he? Could be mixed. Jonte Austin, is that his name? Sounds very French. I have to look up the others. Okay, so I'm not saying they crazy. I'm not saying they loco. I'm just saying I'm breaking words apart because that's what I do. All right. Fellow locomotive. So fell, F-E-L-L. They fell. Okay. O-W. What could that mean? They fell on work or fell off work. Okay. And that kind of made them crazy. Gave them motives to want to do something about it. Okay. This is just me breaking down the words fellow locomotives. And I'm getting this fellow locomotives because Thomas and Friends. Thomas and his fellow locomotives, because they are trains. And they connect to make a chain, like a link. They link up as a train, or they link as a train. Oh no, they link as a chain, possibly run trains. Okay? Trains doesn't have to be sexual. It could be, but it doesn't have to be. It could mean like licks. Or train could mean they're locomotive, like they're on route, they're on track to do something crazy. Loco. Okay. We also have fellow locomotives on the island of Sodor. This is also given me fellows with crazy ideas, wild thoughts. Just keep going back to Rihanna. So wild thoughts. That's what DJ Khaled. And who else? I don't know who that young man is. Wild thoughts. Loco motives. Loco, wild, motives, thoughts. On the island. Which island? Star Island. Is that Miami where Diddy lives? Okay. Of Sodor or of Sodom? Is it Sodom and Gomorrah? Sodor and Miami. Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, a lot of locomotives going on over there on the island with fellows. Maybe some of them are Hispanics. Maybe there's 7 people who are aware of this. They're swimming in the ocean. Swimming in this pool, in this pond. In Miami. On this island. With fellows. With Thomas and Friends. Maybe some people from the UK. With this whole British connection. Again, somebody's name could be Percy, Gordon, James, Edward, Toby, or Thomas, or Tank, or 2 Chainz, Omar Epps. I also have some women's name here too. Lady Gaga, Jennifer Lopez, Kelly Price. Those names came up. The names from Total. That's how I got Omar Epps, because I was thinking about Total. How I got to Total, I was thinking about Britney Spears. Like, I really love Britney. Total Package, Britney. And then I'm like, Total. I really love Total. They didn't really have the career that they were supposed to have, in my opinion. So I wrote their names down: Kima, Keisha, Pamela, or Pamela Long. And Nia Long came up before from Love Jones. So somebody's name could be Jones here. Okay, or Love. Because Love is a name. Princess Love. She has come up on the radar a few times. So has Lawrence Tate. And Lawrence Tate is also leads back to the Power Universe 50 Cent. I feel like I want to throw up. I feel nauseous. Why is 50 Cent making me sick? What's the Power Universe really about? But anyways, the reason why I'm bringing them up, because they have an album that came out in 1998. And I was told 1998, I feel so sick. Let me have a chocolate. More of that nut works. So locomotives, loco nutty, chocolate, buddy. I don't know why you men just don't come out and say you guys are gay. You guys love each other. I'll make the world a better place. 1998, they had an album. They had an album in 1996 too. Their debut. But they've been around before that too. Like I believe since 1994. But 1998 stands out. Kima Raynor, Keisha Spivey, Pamela Long. Spivey's giving me spider senses. So Keisha might think something's up. Maybe something up with Omar. Maybe her spider senses are going off like mine are going off about 50 Cent. Kima, for some reason, is giving me Lima. That's a Spanish country. Is it? Or Brazil? Oh, Brazil is Spanish too. It's like, you know, Latin. But it goes Lima as well. Or some people might say Lima. Lima bean, lima bean, butter bean. I love butter beans. I love butter beans. So here's giving me something Hispanic again. Not the bean, but the Brazilian model. I believe her surname is Lima. She might be involved in something. She's what, a Victoria's Secret model? So here we have like an angel connection, because something about angel comes out. I work with angels. But bean comes out a lot too. This is kind of looking like a bean. Not a lima bean, a butter bean. This is more giving a flava bean look. Flava beans are a little bit bigger, more thicker skin, more fibrous. Okay. Somebody's name could be Ray. That's splitting her last name apart. Wow, Ray Norwood. As in Raymond Norwood. Ray J. The J is missing right now, so let's put it in. Maybe there's some connection between Ray J and Total, or somebody else. Maybe Ray J and J, as in Jay-Z. Maybe that's one of his friends. Or maybe one of Thomas's friends is Ray J. Like maybe this is, like I said, a boys club. They all, you know, hump each other. Especially for roles in the Power Universe. I don't know. Something's really off here. All these boys. Or men. Or boys to men. Maybe boys to men has something to do with something. Because Wanye had relations with Brandy. Brandy's Ray J's sister. Okay? Spider senses are going off. Mine are like tingling right now. But again, bean. Somebody may be spilling beans. Any one of these names I mentioned could be spilling a bean about chocolate, about nuts, chocolate nuts. Bad chocolate nuts. These ones are good. for bad chocolate nuts. Somebody who's spilling the beans. Again, somebody could be named Beans. I was wearing a beanie earlier. Somebody could be named Beanie. I'm not even like, this might be an hour. I don't want it to be more than an hour. That's so good, but I don't want to keep eating and distracted. Where am I? So Ray and then Nor is giving me Raymond Norwood. This could even be Ray J's father, who's spilling beans on something. All right. What else do we have here? So under fellow, somebody could be a junior as well, because high places, he's a junior. Okay. Percy, I'm bringing that back up because remember I said I have an uncle named Wilbert. I also have an uncle named Percy. This uncle, unfortunately, was murdered at a barber shop. So a barber shop could be relevant here, or barber shop, the movie. Who's in that? I think Nicki Minaj is in that. She stands out. Is Ice Cube in that? Or barbershop, that little podcast or whatever they had with LeBron James, where boys came, men, sorry, talked about things. That could be relevant. Whoever went on that show, they could be spilling beans. It just seems like there's something about nuts being talked about, being spread, being eaten. Seems like men out there are like, you know, goggling balls. Oh, these could be ball players. I do have something about athlete, but it's a baseball player. Well, that's a ball. So it doesn't have to be basketball. The baseball players, balls getting goggled. Maybe by basketball players, vice versa. I'm telling you, it's easier to just be honest. Let me take my glasses off so you know I'm serious. Because it's going to come out anyway, as you can see. Be honest about your sexuality, about your sexual orientation, so you're not embarrassed when it's exposed by someone like me. I'm not the only one who gets downloads, by the way. Okay? My Lord has servants all over the earth. I don't want to have to be the one to bring your shit to light and hurt your feelings, embarrass you, humiliate you. So it's better if you just examine yourself, come to terms that you actually love the same sex. You like how that feels, and whatever else. So there's no shame component when you're called up for examination, when you come up on the radar. I don't always want to feel bad, feel like I'm outing people, but this is part of my job, to share what comes up on the radar. And it seems like it's a whole lot of men on men activities here, in the dark, behind the scenes, secretively, purposely hiding, then pretending to love women in the daytime, in the light, on Instagram. These taste extra good tonight. So like I said, the first athlete that's coming up here, not saying he is DL, and I don't even know his last name, but his name is Carl. And the reason why I'm bringing up Carl, because Percy, my uncle, his name is also Carl. He's a junior to my grandfather, who's named Carl. Okay? So this is how I'm getting Carl. Let's start with Carl. Baseball player. Also has a record label. He's a baseball player who has a son with Evelyn Lozada. On his record label, he signed someone named Erica Banks, which her name came up before, and also Meg Thee Stallion. Meg Thee Stallion came out of that contract and signed to Rock Nation. I didn't even write that down, but that's coming out now. Clearly it's going to have some kind of relevance. Rock Nation, Jay-Z. Meg Thee Stallion is dating someone named Clay Thomas or Thompson. I think it's Thomas. He's a basketball player. And I didn't even realize that Thomas will go back to Thomas and Friends. Okay? So the friends could be Rock Nation friends, Jay-Z personal friends, or part of the fraternity fellowship, meaning you only participate or play or swim in this pond. Anyhow, Evelyn Lozada, let me go back to the other side. Baseball, so Carl, baseball, Evelyn Lozada. She has a son with him. That's how she came up. She's also on Basketball Wives. All right, so here's basketball, another sport. Carl, baseball, okay? Basketball Wives is by Shawnee O'Neal. She was married to Shaquille O'Neal. They're divorced. She's now married to a pastor. I didn't bring him up, but I think his name is Henderson. Shaq, basketball player, well known, of course. Of course, he would know Klay Thomas because he's a basketball player. I don't know if they played on the same team ever. I would have to look that up. You see how it started off like this, but still connected. Shaq came up on one of these cards. Number 4. We know 4 links to Jay-Z or Beyonce. I mean, I'm not saying they own the number 4, but I'm not going to eat anymore. They really love the number 4. Do they have any relation to Shaq or Jamie Lynn Spear? Again, Jamie goes back to Power. And the real character is Omar Ree. He's not on Power anymore, but he's the ghost. He's the original ghost. Okay. So the ghost on Power. Jamie or James. What's her name? Angela called him Jamie. Tasha called him James or Ghost. She called him Ghost or James. But Jamie. So it's the same person essentially. Okay. Here is the Lynn standing out. And there's so many Lynn connections, but the one that's coming to mind now is Eazy-E, because his middle name is Lynn. Okay, Eric Lynn, I think Garner. I hope it's Garner. I think it starts with a G. And then the Spears is giving me like a stabbing or a poking or like an attack almost. Because when I think about Spears, when I pull my Spears, I'm about to defend, fight, go into battle, war. But I also been thinking about Britney Spears a lot lately as well. So it all ties in, connects. I don't know if Britney has something to do with anything here. She does come up on the next page, however. Okay. But Shaq, number 4. Let's see what number 4 says if I could see it. Loneliness, solitude, disillusionment. It's all blur. So Shaq's name came up before, as in having some kind of relation to another basketball player named Allen Iverson. I don't know if he has any relation in this boys club. Okay, Alan has 2 L's. And then the AI stands out because AI has always been coming up. And I've always thought it just meant artificial intelligence or my authentic intelligence. But it could be the initials of this basketball player tied to Shaq that has something to do with Thomas and Friends, or some spears being poked perhaps into Lynn, or the situation about Eric Lynn, Eazy-E, him suddenly getting sick, finding out he had full-blown AIDS, could be reoccurring, replaying, because we had something about reduce, reuse, recycle. Okay, so reduce, reuse, recycle. So something was reduced, someone was reduced, and the same means to how that one was reduced was reused, and the formula was just recycled. Same, like, I don't know. This is what's being channeled, and it's making me feel sick to my stomach, because clearly a ghost is going around spreading something amongst friends, Thomas and Friends. There's a chain, there's a link, there's something being connected about the spread of something, and it might be going back to some athlete. Could be one of these names I mentioned, or they could be a target. They probably didn't know who it was before, hence the ghost, and they knew this was powerful, whatever being spread is powerful, but now people are catching on, like, as to who Ghost is. And the reason why I'm saying that, because one of the lawyers, let me go to the next page. Have I done everything here? I think so. One of the lawyers on Ghost and Power is Sachs. Sachs Cooper, or Cooper Sachs. Okay. He was an FBI agent, so an FBI agent could be involved. He was also a criminal lawyer. Okay. He's the anti-hero, the antagonist. He also has questionable ethics. And he was obsessed with James, with taking James down, or Jamie. Okay. Sachs is also giving me like Saks Fifth Avenue, which ties into a message I gave about Jennifer Lopez connection to Saks Fifth Avenue and Selena Quintanilla. But I don't want to bring up Selena Quintanilla now. But I'm just bringing up Saks, making more connection to Saks. Okay, Saks also gives me Anglo-Saxon, and that kind of gives me Saint Patrick, so that ties back in, okay, to Saint Patrick family. Wow, this is a lot. 53. So yeah, Sachs, he's like a complex prosecutor, or his morals are, okay, but he's very tenacious. Defense attorney who's played by someone named Shane Johnson. And I'm like, Shane Johnson, sounds like a black name, number one. I'm like, are you sure Shane Johnson? I would never ever think Sachs would appear. But then Shane gives me Shawnee, who was once Shawnee O'Neal, Shaq's ex-wife, so Shaquille O'Neal. And then the Johnson gives me Magic Johnson, an athlete who has come out, it's been a while now, to having HIV. So I don't know if there's any connection there, if Shaq needs to go to the clinic, or Shawnee, or both, or anyone who has relationships with either one of the two. Okay. Again, yes, he was on a relentless pursuit of ghosts. Okay, so someone may be on a relentless pursuit of whoever this ghost is that is spreading something. The ghost could be Shaq, the ghost could be Allen Iverson, or any one of these people, or maybe these people I mentioned are going after Allen Iverson and Shaq because they figured out what's going on here. Going back to my little chart, I'll show you what I'm reading here. I have nothing to hide. Okay. The PJ came up before about the peanut butter and jelly being a possible means of spreading something. But I flipped that and got JP. And Jenny came out. And then Penny came out. Like Jenny Penny. Because Jenny is the name of the prosecutor that Cooper Sachs was having an affair with. On the down low. She wasn't really proud to be with him publicly. Okay? But they were together. And she was just as relentless as Sachs. Okay? So that's how I got Jenny. And then Jennifer Lopez. Jenny from the block. Okay? Which block? Bronx? Is that where she says she's from? Okay. Uptown, baby. Uptown. So Peter Guns could be involved in the situation. Or somebody may be bringing guns to a situation. But Jenny on the 6th is a train, which goes back to Thomas, the tank engine, and the train. Okay? That's the name of her album as well. Penny is clown from IT, information technology. Somebody could be collecting information on Jenny, or Jenny has information on somebody that she might be providing. A defense attorney, or FBI, or another criminal lawyer. Okay, who's tenacious. Or Jenny may be tenacious and morally corrupt or complex. Okay. Penny is also giving me like paid. So Jenny may pay a penny to an attorney, to a prosecutor, to you can't even speak, to relentlessly pursue somebody, a ghost. Does it say ghost? Or another name for ghost? Imaginary player would be a ghost because it's imaginary. Okay, so that could interchange. Jenny may be paying somebody to relentlessly pursue an imaginary player. Okay, since we're saying on the 6th, that's a train, and I spoke something about the J train. Okay, so Jenny is on the 6th pursuing the J train. She's using Penny. Now remember Percy, Thomas's best friend, who's always willing to help Thomas when Thomas gets into trouble. Percy, when I think about Percy, it gives me purse because I see penny. So that's why I'm saying Jenny may pay a penny to pursue somebody because she's someone's best friend. Okay, so Percy, the name Percy is P-E-R-C-Y, my uncle and grandfather's name. My uncle's a junior to my grandfather. Okay, that's his son. But Percy here, as it relates to penny, will be P-U-R-S-Y. Of course, purse. Okay, I don't have a purse close by. But then I'm like, I don't know why I went to P-U-S-S-Y. I don't know. Oh, because Jenny was sleeping with the defense attorney on Power. That's why she was giving him the P-U-S-S-Y. So I'm like, perhaps Jenny on the 6th, Jenny from the block, also gave somebody some P-U-S-S-Y. And funny enough, the Pussycat Dolls channeled, "Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? Don't you wish your girlfriend was a freak like me? Don't you?" So I don't know if she gave P-U-S-S-Y to somebody named Shane, somebody who has the surname Johnson. Okay, but that was featured. That featured Busta Rhymes, that track when it channeled, and that channeled at 2:25 a.m. because I'm still up. It ended. I noted the time when it ended, and soon after it ended, S&M played by Rihanna. So don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? To S-S-S-N-M-M-M. I can be bad, but I'm perfectly good at it. Sex in the air, I don't care. I love the smell of it. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but changing whips excites me. Okay. Um, it may excite Jenny too. No shame, no hate, Jenny. Even though you are on my naughty list, yeah, you are. But as it relates to the channeling right now, I don't know who Jenny gave the PUSSY to outside of Diddy and all her other men. I don't know if she's willing to give some PUSSY to somebody to assist Diddy's case, because she may still consider Diddy a friend. Okay. But all that came up. What else we have here? Oh, the little about Britney Spears. I think this will end it on a good note. Oh, before I go to that, something about accidental cut of a card or on card, or caught cheating. Somebody got caught cheating, or somebody got caught because of a cut, an accidental cut, or somebody cut a card and caught someone cheating. You know when you somebody's in a hotel and you get another card to enter the room, and caught somebody cheating that way. That was just a real side note. I don't know where that came from. No, it came out on the side here. I'm just like down here, but it came out of like left field, because I don't know if maybe Jenny did that, or somebody caught Jenny. There's also something about platinum here, and that's the name of a friend who I haven't heard from in a long time. We're going on to end it because it's over an hour. I had two songs channeled as if they were competing against each other, though. It was Born to Make You Happy by Britney Spears, and then Born This Way by Lady Gaga. And I love the Lady Gaga track, by the way. But I will always pick Britney over Gaga, over a lot of people in the industry, because Britney is actually chosen. Britney is actually chosen. And that's why she's targeted in the manner in which she's targeted, because she's a chosen one. Chosen ones are totally jam-packed with star quality, star potential, with light, with star power. Okay? Born to perform, or born to entertain, born to be in the spotlight, doing anything, okay? But you're born to be seen, you're born to make some kind of impact without force. That's the distinction. Because you have chosen ones and then you have pick-me's. And the pick-me's, they force it. Jenny, she's a pick-me. I'm not ashamed to say it. Jenny from the block, Jennifer Lopez, pick J-Lo, pick me. Forced, has to work hard, has to practice, has to rehearse nonstop to keep up with the image, has to compete with the real thing, the chosen one. That is the blueprint that the pick-me's follow, okay? Because they're not as creative, originally creative, to do things naturally. And this is not a put down for anybody. This is just me speaking the truth, because that's what I do, okay? But the chosen ones, sadly, unfortunately, get such a hard fight. They get pushed out the way so that the pick-me's could get their 15 minutes of fame, their time to shine, their little ribbon of participation. Sometimes they steal the awards that the chosen one is supposed to receive, the accolades that the chosen ones are supposed to get, goes to the pick-me just to make the pick-me feel good about themselves. That has to stop. We have to stop rewarding the ones who are just not good enough, giving them the flowers that the ones who are so good at what they do, deny them the flowers, the honor, the respect, the praise, the stage, the time to shine that they are divinely given to shine. This jealousy and envy and hate and network collusion to get people out the way, to blacklist people, it has to stop. It makes you guys look really, really ugly. If you ain't got it like that, you just ain't got it like that. There's a stage for you. There's a stage for the beginners, the novice. And then you work your way up to master, to doctor, to expert, to whatever the high levels call themselves. But you cannot just come in the game and kick somebody out their spot, out their square, off their pedestal because you want to shine, because you want to be famous. And I'm not saying this is a case for Lady Gaga, but it could be that somebody worked in cahoots to push Britney back so that Lady Gaga could come forward, or so that Jenny could come forward, because you know they got Selena out the way, so Jenny could have whatever she has. But it has to stop because people are catching on now. Just like people are catching on that something is being spread, people are catching on that there's some people being pushed out the way deliberately, being blacklisted, being targeted, just so others could feel like they are a star. It's bullshit. Y'all need to cut it out. I'm going to end it here. Otherwise, this could go on and on and on. Yeah, like chosen ones and pygmies should not be in the same space, because it's going to be a collision. They're going to collide. Pygmies are always jealous of chosen ones. Always jealous of chosen ones. And we know that jealousy is as cruel as the grave. Selena Quintanilla could tell you. I think that's it. That's it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have yourself a good day. I need to get some sleep myself. It's probably 4 in the morning by now. But I hope this was clear and I hope it was helpful. Yeah, take care. Bye-bye.